now, as if I wasn't busy enough with getting the race cars ready, and I've got less than a month left. I got this nice big screw in my daily. So we're gonna pull this wheel off and take it down to Discount Tire and hopefully get it repaired, fingers crossed, for free because I bought it from them. This is one of the summer wheels I bought for this car and haven't been able to get tires for yet. So rather than leaving it up on a jack stand potentially overnight because I don't have my watch on, but it's going to be, you know, the last 30 to 45 minutes the tire shop is open. I'm going to put this on so I can at least let it sit on a tire. Now we're gonna run down to Discount Tire, get this thing repaired, but I'm not gonna do that on camera anyway. So today should be a fun one. The ignition stuff has all come in for the Mustang. We've got the new struts for the Mustang, and obviously we still have those strut boxes to install. The first thing I have to do though is take these down to Discount Tire and get those replaced for that screw. So that's what we're going to do first. So now that the tires have been dropped off, we're going to do the ignition system, or the tune-up, on this guy. And I'm not going to show you all of these, but as you can see, the spark plugs are way down here, so they're going to be a lot more difficult to do than the Miata. But I'm going to change all the plugs, all the wires, the rotor and the rotor cap, and then hopefully this will fix our misfire issue and we'll be able to drive the car. So a trick that I saw on the internet is if you're changing the rotor and the rotor cap, what you do is change one side and then as you go put your wires on your new cap, so that way you can take the old cap off and just put it over there, change the rotor, and then do the other ones. So that is what I'm going to do so that I don't have to remember the order that these all go in, except this one, because this one goes to the coil. So that one's just gonna pull right off. The thing I feel about plugs is that you have to turn them nice and easy. You can't like whack them or anything because you don't want the friggin' things to break, because if they break, then you have even larger pain in the ass on your hands. So I've got my short breaker bar. Hopefully I can put more pressure on but keep it nice and even so it doesn't break anything. If I can get the bit on there. Hopefully you can see that. You can see that these ones are in much worse condition than the ones from the Miata. They don't look horrendous or anything, but there's a lot of soot and then this is all rusty. So I'm glad that we're changing these. Same with the Miata. I got a little bit of anti-seize on here. We're just gonna swipe that on into the old threads. Being, of course, very careful not to get it on the top so it affects the electrode. Of course, now I'm going to do this to all of them. Now, of course, I'm going to do this to all of them because I've put grease all over this glove. And again, just as before, we're going to grease the plugs and the wires appropriately. Chloe says torque spec is 7 to 14, so we're gonna do 10. So these wires are numbered. This one's number 8. It goes on number 8. We totally don't have to tell them that we had to Google it to make sure which one's 8 and which one's 4. Again, this one looks a bit sooty, but it doesn't look horrendous or anything. It's a bit rusty, but no. Come here. No. Oh, you shit. Will you get me my magnet tool? It's in the top right drawer. I can't get my finger around this, and I'm gonna drop it if I don't move my other hand.
Is it just like a magnet on the stick?
Yeah.
Where's it at?
It's got a red handle. It's in the top right drawer. Thank you. All right, let's try that again. I mean, looks worn, but it doesn't look. I guess it's a bit rough. Maybe this will help it run anyway. Oh, this is our new part. Nice and shiny. And then we're going to take our new cap. Slide that on there. Put our little clippies on. The little clippies appear to be a little short. Well, yeah, there's some corrosion on those points. Once we have taken the rest of these wires off, I will show you these points. There's a bit of corrosion on there, so fingers crossed that is going to fix our issue. Now, I think I should move this out of the way, just because then I get a lot more working room and I don't have to work around it. I think it's just a few bolts and then it pops off. Maybe just even these two. I guess I could just pop this off and then undo the filter. Yeah, I'm just gonna pop that off and undo the filter because that's only one screw. So, audience, we bought some coveralls so that Chloe doesn't have to edit my butt out anymore, but it didn't fit. So, we're looking into a local place that hopefully will do some like semi-custom work or whatever. I don't even know. At least someplace. Ooh, that smells horrible. At least someplace we can try them on. Ooh, does it smell like gas to you? It's this one. This one smells really badly of gas to me, and Chloe says fuel of some sort. So this might be a culprit. I also got to take these wire looms off by shoving a screwdriver in there and just propping them open, because they help keep the not only wires organized, but they help to keep them away from heat sources like the exhaust headers. Let me tell you what else is easier about the Miata. The plugs go straight up and down. Those ones go at an angle like this. These ones go at an angle like this. So it means they're easily cross-threaded because you can't see what you're doing. You just have to kind of feel. And if you don't get it at exactly the right angle, it gets cross-threaded. Maybe there's a trick to it that I don't know. But again, I don't know it, so just kind of stick them in, start turning, oh, cross-threaded, undo it, try it again at a slightly different angle. Till you finally get it. Like that. This one looks wet as well. The deposits look similar to the other plugs, but it smells real bad. Now that I have that loose, you can see in here is, like I said before, I've never changed a rotor before, so I don't know if this is bad or not, but there's definitely corrosion in there. So I'm glad that I'm changing it anyway. All right. We're going to start it up and see if it fixes our problem. bad news, you see all that smoke? Is doing all of that did not fix our problem. So now what? So clearly, that hasn't fixed our issue. The only other thing I can think of is when I took the intake off, I fucked up a vacuum line or something, which would explain it running rough, but it wouldn't explain the big cloud of smoke. Because if it didn't have vacuum, it would just run like crap. It wouldn't not spark and burn all of the gas. Unless, of course, because this isn't a MAF car, it relies on vacuum for its table, and it's just running super rich. But then why would it seem like it's a misfire? Chloe's found a vacuum diagram on the internet, and I found this line here and this open line over here, which are not plugged into anything, so I plug them into each other. And then there's what appears to be a line right here that, according to that thing, might be for the fuel pressure regulator, which could certainly be a problem. But I've connected those two. I'm going to start it up and see if it fixes the problem. And if it doesn't, I'm going to search for whatever line is supposed to plug into here. That didn't fix it. But now I got something to look for. Okay, so good news is it's now running normally. Woohoo! It was still smoking a little bit at first, but then it went away, so I'm assuming that because we've had it unplugged for quite a while, that the computer is still catching up. So it's idling a little high, according to the TAC, which the last time I drove it seemed like it was kind of but according to the TAC, it was idling at about 2,000 RPM. Which obviously isn't great. It should be idling at about 800 RPM. But it stopped smoking and it started to figure itself out. So once we finish the other stuff that we have to do, I'm confident that we can drive it for a bit and make sure that it is driving properly. Engine's running fine. Now, I guess we get to move on to either the torque boxes or the struts.